How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Mike from Seattle, and I'm going to be giving you an update on my Airbnb experience so far. So for those of you who don't know, I did just convert this duplex into an Airbnb, at least on one side, the side that I don't live in. And I've officially booked my first, I booked my first 6 guests, but I've got 2 of them that have actually already stayed with me, and I've received nothing but positive reviews so far. So I want to do a little overview about everything that's been going on here and give you guys an update. Again, as I mentioned earlier, initially this thing was rented out for $2,150 a month to a long-term tenant for the last 2 years. But in July, the tenants moved out, and I was convinced by a friend of mine to go ahead and consider doing short-term rentals. He told me he was making about $5,000 to $8,000 a month, which is a massive increase over the $2,150 a month that I was making. Now his place is a little bit bigger than mine, and I estimated that probably I'd make somewhere in the neighborhood of $4,000 to $5,000. Either way, that's a huge increase, and it was worth the risk of investing the money to furnish it to find out. So let's talk about how much it cost for me to go ahead and convert this thing. Number one, there's the cost to actually furnish it. So I spent about $8,000 buying all the furniture, the bed frames, the mattresses, the TV, the towels, the toiletries, everything that you need, the dishes, the silverware, tables, all of it, so that this thing could be furnished and used as a short-term rental. That cost me about $8,000. And then there's the missed opportunity costs. Because it took me 3 months to get this thing turned, instead of just re-renting it to another long-term tenant right away, I lost 3 months of rent. And again, it probably would have gone to $2,500 a month, up from $2,150. So really it was about $7,500 of lost money to take the time to turn it into a short-term rental. Now you might be asking yourself, well, Mike, how come it took you so long? Why did it take 3 months? Well, for those of you who don't know, I am a father with full custody of my son. 100% of the time he's with me. Mom's not in the picture at all. I'm a police officer. I'm a SWAT officer. So on my days off, I get called out all the time randomly in the middle of the night. I have a YouTube channel that I really work hard to try to provide content on. I also own my own real estate business and have rentals that I manage at a distance. I've been managing multiple projects. So in short, my free time is non-existent. I try to spend as much time as I can with my kid. I didn't have as much time to work on that thing as I would have liked. Could it have been done faster? Absolutely. 3 months, that was what I was able to make it happen in. So unfortunately, I lost out on rent all of those months, which sucks, but that's just part of life. Okay, now let's talk about the successes. So it's only been listed for like 9 days. And in those 9 days, I've had 5 bookings. That's pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy about that. I anticipated that since I listed it, like September 28th, probably the month of October, I wasn't going to make much money. The reason being is people probably book their rentals out in advance. You know where you're going to stay a few weeks before you go, which means that people aren't really booking in the month of October because it's already been booked. I'm only looking at last minute people. So if I have a lackluster October, that at least is going to be my reasoning for it. What I'm hoping is going to show whether or not this is going to be profitable is whether or not November and December do well. These are both major holiday months with Thanksgiving and Christmas. If it doesn't do well in the month of November and it doesn't do well in the month of December with, again, winter break and things like that, I'll probably know very quickly if I need to convert this back to a short-term or a long-term rental, or if I should just keep trying as a short-term. Now, just so you know, I did list it on Airbnb and it's been listed for the last 9 days. But today I got it listed on VRBO and also Furnished Finder. So I'm really hoping that if I can push it out to more people and to different groups of people, like traveling nurses, that maybe I'll be able to drive a little more business my way that way. We'll see. Hopefully some insurance company calls me up and says, we want to pay $8,000 a month to use your place. I'd be more than thrilled. You're welcome to hit me up. Thank you. Let's talk a little bit about the pricing. What I have right now is $150 a night, but I have a minimum of 2 nights required if you're going to book on the weekend. I want to make sure that I'm locking you up for at least 2 days, and I don't want to have to turn the property because I didn't know this, but Airbnb secretly is masquerading as a rental company when it's actually a maid service. As the guy who's had to go over there and change the sheets, clean the bathrooms, wash the towels, do the dishes, and sweep out the place between different tenants, I didn't realize how much time was going to be taken up by me running over there to play the maid. Instead of Millennial Mike, I'm Millennial Maid, playing the maid all the time. I absolutely understand why people transition over to a maid service as quickly as possible, and now with this additional perspective, I totally understand why the cleaning fees are what they are. People are not actually making money off of the cleaning fees. If you call up a local maid service and ask what it would cost for them to take on a short-term rental and turn that, it's like $90 for them to come out and handle the property. Well, that's why the cleaning services and the cleaning fees are $90. It's not because somebody's gouging you for the price. It's because that's what you got to pay. which is actually one of the problems with Airbnb, because the way it worked before, it was extremely competitive with the price of a hotel, sometimes even better than the price of a hotel. But you, as the occupant staying there, got a full kitchen, got free parking, got access to the local neighborhoods instead of living and being stuck in a parking lot where homeless people might go rifle through your car that you're renting. You know, there was a lot of perks and benefits to Airbnb as opposed to a hotel. But now when they're like neck and neck in price, and oftentimes the Airbnb after the cleaning fees is more expensive, I understand where people are saying, well, screw that. I don't want to just stay at this place and pay more. I'll just go stay at a hotel. Now, I think for those medium-term rentals, people who are going to stay a week or 2 weeks, it still absolutely makes sense to have an Airbnb. The reason being is I know when I travel, I love to have access to a kitchen. I don't like eating out for every meal because it's very expensive. So if I can have a kitchen and get some frozen pizzas and buy some cereal and some sandwich stuff, I can take care of a handful of different meals and not have to spend all that money actually going out to eat. So I completely understand why Airbnbs will probably still do well with people who are trying to stay maybe 3 days plus. But for those quick overnight trips, I mean, I just don't really think that it's affordable. Most hotels you can get in and out for $120 to $150. The Airbnb starting at $150, you know, and then the cleaning fee of another like $70, $80, $90. It can be very expensive to stay at an Airbnb. So unless they've got the money for that, why would they choose your property instead of just going to a hotel? So again, back to pricing. What I'm doing right now is it's priced at $150 a night, plus a $35 cleaning fee, and I probably should raise that up, even though I'm doing it. Definitely I need to make more money than that. I'm making like $12 an hour to go over there and clean it. I timed myself. It takes 2.5 hours for me to actually get the thing turned over, plus laundry, that type of stuff. Now, the feedback on the property has been really, really good. People like the cool 90s themed stuff. They like the posters. They really liked the video games. They said that, hey, yeah, we stayed up. We played a whole bunch of classic games like Mario and Battletoads and things like that. And I was like, well, cool. At least people are appreciating the creative aspect of how I put that thing together. They like the posters. They like the location. There was deer walking in the yard. I got a text about that. So there's a lot of really cool things that are going on with this property. It's just going to come down to, can I make enough money to justify it? $2,150 is what I was making. It could have gone to $2,500 a month. And the tenant was responsible for all of their own utilities. As the Airbnb operator, I'm paying the power, I'm paying the gas, I'm paying for all of the utilities, the internet, and things like that the tenant would have previously paid. And so not only do I need to make like $2,500 a month, but I need to make like another $400 a month to cover the utilities. So really what I'm looking at is, am I going to make at least like $3,000 a month? And that's kind of just a break even. Because think of how much work I'm putting into this place. Especially if you consider the work I do actually turning it and cleaning it, then I need to make way more money. But if you even just look at it from an overall management aspect, it's much easier to set and forget a long-term tenant than it is for me to actively manage the listing across multiple different platforms, message back and forth with people. And I know there's a bunch of services out there that will do it for you, but then they charge you money to do that, and you've got to make even more money to compensate for that. Now, I'm not saying I'm against those things, but I want to see the actual proof of concept that this unit has the money-making ability to clear $4,000 a month before I start simplifying things with maids or AI software or something like that. Either way, so far the experience has been pretty positive. I'm enjoying the creative aspect of it. I'm not enjoying cleaning stuff up over there, but I'm hopeful given the fact that I was able to get multiple bookings within just 10 days. I was able to get 5 bookings, and that's with no positive reviews, no history in the area. I'm not a super host. All the things that people look for when they're looking to rent a property, I don't have yet because I haven't spent enough time in the market to develop those things. So hopefully with a few positive reviews, and when I get a hot tub out there to differentiate myself between my property and a bunch of other ones, hopefully I'll be able to actually capitalize and corner a little bit more of the market and really make some money. Time's gonna tell. This was the update so far. I've gotten the first like $500 paid out to me from people renting that thing over there. I'll keep you guys updated as we go. Thanks always for being here, and hey, we'll catch you next time.